Here's Tony with the new Mercedes 500 SL.
If there's one topic that'll start a heated argument among sports car buffs, it's which sports car is the world's best. People who've never even seen a Ferrari F40 will argue its merits as though they owned one, and Porsche buffs can get quite arrogant about their favourite Sportster. Similar positions are taken by admirers of Maseratis and Lamborghinis. But having tested Mercedes' all-new 500 SL on road and track, I've got no personal doubts at all. These new two-seaters from Stuttgart are quite probably the finest sports cars that have ever been built, and it'll take something very special to sway me from that opinion. The previous Mercedes SL model has had an amazingly long life, and it's now 18 years since they were launched. Even as production wound down, they remained very desirable indeed, if a little long in the tooth, and buyers were still lining up for them. Available only in two-seat form, the new SL incorporates advanced technology and profusion, and some features are unique. For a start, how about the world's first switchblade ignition key? Styling is outstanding, inside and out, and has a special flair that only Mercedes seems to be able to bring to cars like this. Even sitting at the curb, it has a powerful, almost predatory look about it. Like previous SLs, it comes with both hard and soft tops. The hard top is made from aluminum and is very strong and rigid. The soft top has the best control system I've ever seen. However, the weather was so poor when we shot the SL, we decided to keep the roof on and stay warm. The rollover bar is a first for any maker, in that it automatically deploys if sensors determine an accident is about to happen. The bar can be positioned manually with a switch if the driver feels more secure with it in place, or just wants to show it off in traffic. Like all Mercedes models, the SL is very practical, and driver and passenger get all the luggage and oddment space they are ever likely to need. There's a neat cassette holder, and various lidded bins and handy map pockets. The usual glove box is sacrificed to a passenger side airbag. On the other hand, it's not an easy car to thread yourself into. Once inside, though, it's as comfortable as any sports car is capable of being. The seats mark a new design pinnacle altogether. They're built on magnesium alloy frames and electrically adjust in just about every direction. Seat belts are attached to the seats directly, solving a long-standing problem with pillarless sports car designs. 3 memory positions can be selected for these seats, and other functions are programmed in too. When you select a memorized position, it actuates steering wheel tilt and telescoping, door mirror position, and even rear-view mirror setting. As you'd expect, the interior is luxurious to look at, with bold walnut and opulent leather trim. If anything, the steering wheel is a little on the large side. The 500 SL has a silky smooth and very powerful 5-litre V8, and it'll rocket the car to 100 kilometers per hour in under 7 seconds. A 24-valve 3-litre 6 is also available, but then the car becomes a 300 SL. Fuel economy, if you really care, runs at an average of 14.5 litres per 100 kilometers. Handling is outstanding, and Mercedes appears to have spent an enormous amount of time working to combine a sleek ride with formidable cornering power. After all, many SL owners are simply well-heeled folks who buy cars like this more for prestige than for driving. If nearly $120,000 seems a lot of cash for a 500 SL, consider the fact that there's a 4-year waiting list in Europe, and the cars have been advertised in Los Angeles for $40,000 over list. Of course, if you're willing to spend this kind of money, there are some interesting rivals on the market. Your Jaguar dealer will sell you an XJS ragtop for a lot less money, and there's a Porsche 911 Cabriolet to be considered for about the same price as the SL. For the price of a decent house, you can get a Ferrari Mondial Cabriolet or an Aston Martin Vantage. There's also a serious rival from North America in the Cadillac Alante, which costs about the same as the Jag. Well, my choice would be the Mercedes, Ted.
Well, I knew you'd say that. Look, I do like this thing, but the price tag is obscenely high. I won't talk about that just yet. The car wandered all over the road. Even you agreed with me on that one. The car was very bad. Tracking was terrible on it. The climate control system was ridiculous. It didn't work worth a damn. And this is the hardest car I've ever had to get in and out of. It's harder to get in this car than it is my Morgan. This car is impossible to get into with any degree of ease. I do like the styling. I love the powertrain. It's a work of art, and the car looks like $1 million. But If I was going to choose this car, and between this car and the Jaguar, I would choose the Jaguar because, for starters, the Jaguar is $35,000 less than this car. I'm sorry, this is not worth 35 grand more than an XJS Cabriolet.
Well, I think it is, and that one of the problems with the half-hour television shows, you just don't have the time to get into the technological masterpiece that this car is. This car has so many interesting features in the suspension, the engine, the electronics, the interior. Every aspect of this car has been engineered from scratch. It's really part of a new generation of Mercedes.
They have to re-engineer it because even you said in the clip that this car is hard to get in and out of. I mean, why would they go through all the trouble of making this technological masterpiece and then find you can't get in the damn thing?
Well, I think it takes a bit of, I admit that, but it takes a little bit of practice to swing your legs into the thing, like many cars do. I think if you buy a sports car, you've got to make these sacrifices.
This is not a sports car, Tony. Come on. This is a luxury automobile that happens to have a removable top. This is a luxury car only affordable from the top 0.5% of the population. I mean, who can afford this thing?
Well, it is a sports car, and it's sad that many people who buy these won't get the best kind of use out of them. I was lucky enough to drive the car for several thousand kilometers in Portugal. I've driven it at the Formula One circuit at Estoril there, and really given this car a good shaking down.
Were you
I'll tell
happy?
you, it is a sports car.
Were you happy with the way our test car tracked?
For some reason, our test car tracked or tram-lined, or however you want to describe it. I don't know why that was, because other versions I've driven several different specimens of this car. I've never found this problem before. It may have been tire pressures.
Maybe it was, but you know, my essential point here remains the same. If I've spent 119 grand on a car, I don't want to hear about tracking. I don't want to hear about tires. I don't want to hear about anything, and I don't want to hear about how hard it is to get in the car. I want this car to be perfection, and it better be perfection.
But nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect.
Obviously not even for 120 grand. It's
not.
It
never will be. Neither anything from Sony or from Leica or Nikon or whoever. Nothing.
The Jaguar is a better car than this car in many ways. It may not be as technologically sophisticated, but it's easier to get in and out of. It'll go as fast. Maybe take a little longer to get there, but it'll go as fast. And the thing about the Jag is when you get in the car, you feel like, well, this car is an $85,000 or $95,000 car. The Mercedes smells like a Camry or something.
No, you can't say that. It's the leather in that car, the leather in Mercedes, the interior, the upholstery. There's nothing better. There's nothing better, in my opinion. The carpeting, the detail work. I love Jaguars. I love there's nothing better than that.
I think you're far too impressed with the three-pointed star. As far as I'm concerned, this car is mortal, like any other car.
Well, I am. That's right. I am impressed with the three-pointed star.
And
it has so much history to it.
For 119 grand,
You're buying history with this car, Ted. Okay, let's sum up here. Things we didn't like: the price, well, a little high. It was difficult to get in and out of, and there wasn't a CD player. Should have one at that price, really. Styling was outstanding. Drivetrain just great. And the features just abounded in this car.
And we'll be right back.
Oh, they're supposed to be easy, but you're no electrical whiz, Harry. I mean, it's not like snap, snap, and it's all done. Okay, it's done. But you still got to connect that electrical system, and it's kind of getting dark, Harry. I see. You just plug in the transformer? Come on, it can't be that. It's that easy. You know, Harry, I got to admit, those NOMA Moonrays really do look great. So, Harry, how come I'm not invited to your party?